Hi, what I'm going to talk to you about today is surrender. Now, in this Western dominated culture that we live in, the idea of surrender is one that's frowned upon or even purposefully avoided because we're often told to fight against things that we don't want, against our problems. There's a war on everything in Western culture. So when somebody mentions surrender, right away you're thinking, well, you're giving up, or you're not going to try anymore. You're basically just being a loser, right? That might be what comes to mind, some kind of negative connotation with it. But actually, what I'm going to tell you and illustrate to you today is that surrender is a very powerful healing modality. And I know this from firsthand experience. So you might have a problem that you've been working on for a very long time, or it came up quickly. Say it's a medical or health problem, chronic pain or disease, and you've tried everything, and you're really at your wit's end. You are ready to give up, right? I would say, instead of giving up, surrender. Now, what's the difference between giving up and surrender? Well, giving up is kind of, like I was saying, what people think surrender normally is. They're actually thinking about what it means to give up. And to give up is just, ceasing all methods of resolution. But in this case, surrender is strongly connected to the idea of not my will, which is the ego, but thy will be done, which is the divine or whatever higher power you want to identify it as. So when we genuinely and authentically surrender, we're actually handing over the power of healing and resolution to at least a higher aspect of ourselves in the divine. So how does somebody surrender and say to fix a problem or to deal with some ailment or whatever? Well, you could just simply go and lay down somewhere or sit in a chair wherever you're comfortable and be still, kind of like doing a meditation, and just either say it out loud, which I would recommend, or say it inside to God or the universe or whatever you choose, whatever you think of as a higher power, and just say, I cannot do this anymore. I give away all control to you. All do with me as you will. Or even better, you can just say, and this is what I would recommend actually, is to just somehow totally come to terms with your current situation as it is, in the present, in the now, and just find the way to accept the unacceptable, to just say, I totally accept where I'm at right now and my health status or whatever it is, and just say, I totally accept that, and then just sit in stillness after you say that, and just be as neutral and steady as you can be after you say that, in stillness. And if you do that authentically, you really feel into it afterwards. You might even cry after you say that. I can't guarantee it to you, but I would very much predict that you're going to like the results. Whether it happens immediately or in your near future. In my case, I did something very similar to that, and it happened within a day or so. where I found healing, or healing was given to me. And then I also endeavored to show gratitude for that healing, and I still do to this day. And also by, trying to be the most holy person or whole person that I can be in my thoughts, words, and action every day. That's my way of showing gratitude. I don't always do a perfect job of it, but I do my best. So I hope that may be helpful for you in whatever your situation is or problem that you're facing. But instead of tackling it with the ego by trying to logically or rationalize things out, or by just going with the old prescribed methods that we have been accustomed to in dealing with our problems, if you've got a really big one that just you can't find any other way, like with the prescribed methods you cannot overcome it, then I would highly recommend to use surrender, and see how that goes. Really, what have you got to lose? So I thank you very much for listening, and I love you all, and I'll talk to you again. Bye for now.